Hey, y'all want to hear about how I landed my first closing at $14,500? Y'all check this out. Let's get it. I'm gonna jump right in and tell y'all that this was easy, but it wasn't easy, and the reason why it wasn't easy because I did have to do work. Don't nothing come easy. The real estate business is full of tricks, tips, things you have to go by, guidelines, rules, and then there are some things that you may have to do to make sure that your deal get closed, because sometimes you can't rely on everybody to do everything. Sometimes you have to help out a little bit. So this right here is going to be basically a lesson and not a lesson at the same time, but I just want to give y'all a little info on how it took for me to close my deal and how it took me 9 days. So let's jump right into it. I first gassed up my car and I drove for dollars. So anybody who's in the real estate business know what driving for dollars is, and if you don't, I will be letting y'all know what that is. Driving for dollars is when you gas up your car and you ride around and you look for distressed properties and properties that look like they need TLC, which is a little tender loving care. So buyout. Those are the houses that you want to go look for. So I was very familiar with the area that I already was driving for dollars in. So the area that I was driving for dollars in, I actually grew up in that area, so I was very familiar with it. The property that I closed on, I was very familiar with the property. It was like it was a property where a person stayed at that they didn't take care of the house that good for like the whole time I was young, and out the blue it was boarded up this year. So I was like, wow, I wonder what happened to this property. I really was wondering where Jerry was, because the guy who stayed there, his name was Jerry. So I was like, wow, the house is boarded up out the blue. So I deal machined the house. So number two, second thing I did was I have the Deal Machine app. If y'all don't know about Deal Machine, y'all need to go get Deal Machine right now. Go to your app store, get the Deal Machine app, put the promo code lupigllc in there, and get your 14-day free trial, because I will be explaining in another video why y'all need the Deal Machine app. Greatest app for real estate investing. So I was actually riding around in the area that I was familiar with, deal machining houses. Yes, me, Loopy G, aka Mr. I'm a deal machine your house. That's what I was doing. I was deal machining houses in the area I was very familiar with, and came across a property that I knew about very well, and I deal machined it because I wanted to find out who was the owner. That's what I wanted to figure out. So once I put that in my deal machine app, my next move was to get in the house, cold calling. So I had to drip on this actual property for about a month and a half, close to 2 months, to get an answer. Dripping is when you call and repeatedly, over periodically through a certain amount of time. You just calling them here and there, trying to see if you get an answer, because those are hot leads. Those leads are not cold unless you get a no that they don't want to sell. If you don't get that answer, then you need to keep calling. So I dripped on this property for about a month and a half, and then I ended up getting in touch with the owner, which was an absentee owner. Stayed in Dallas. I'm in the Houston market. Dallas is about 4 hours away. So actually talked to the guy, built a good rapport with him. He told me Jerry had died and that was his brother. And man, Jerry was an alright dude. Knew Jerry my whole life. So I was sorry to hear that, but I wanted to actually know about the property and what was the next move for the property. So he told me he was trying to sell it. He said, man, it's very, very behind on taxes. So he just want to get the property taken care of. He want to get rid of it. He just want to make a couple thousand and be done with it. And I said, okay, that sounds great. He basically committed to the agreement that we had, which was, he get a couple $1,000s. I told him around about how much it was for the taxes that was delinquent, and he was like, yeah, he kind of knew they was that high, which they was extremely high. They were like $40-something thousand dollars, man. Like, wow, a lot of taxes. So he was like, yeah, we can actually we can do that price. So I actually forwarded over him a one-page contract, and he signed it, sent it back, and hey, next day where I was at the title company. So that was my next step that I had took. So your next step is, once you get that contract signed, you want to go to the title company, and then try not to use the word contract that much. Try to use purchase and sale agreement. So yeah, I took the purchase and sale agreement to the title company because I wanted to open title and see what was on the title. You know, I want to make sure that the title was clear and ready to go, besides the liens that was on it from delinquent taxes. Once I figured that out, hey, she said it was good to go. I went to go take pictures of the property and look at the property and set my sign in front of the front yard. There are signs that realtors and real estate companies and stuff, they'll put in front of the yard with the realtor name on it, number on it, and saying that the house is for sale. Me, I don't have the for sale sign on it. I just have my business logo on it and my name. I put that sign in the yard, and I sit and I wait for somebody to call me. And within 2 hours, the buyer called me. I never got a chance to actually promote the property, you know, which was crazy. But the buyer called me within 2 hours, like, hey man, are you selling this property? I said, yeah, I'm selling that property. It's for sale. So he was like, yeah man, how did you get it? He was like, man, I've been trying to get this property for a while, and he wanted to know how I done it, and wanted to know if the taxes was taken care of and stuff like that. So I kind of broke down to him what would need to happen for the taxes to be cleared, and for the title to be cleared, and for the property to you know, actually be ready to be sold. So he was cool with everything. He just wanted to make sure that he was in good hands. So I told him, like, hey, I opened up title here at this title company. You know, we can be completely transparent. You have any questions, you could call Miss Such and Such at the title company, and she'll, you know, make sure you're in the loop. So I let him know that was a $2,500 non-refundable earnest. You know, whenever he was ready, you know, he can forward that over, and we can start moving forward towards closing. So the next step that I took was actually giving him a contract, which was the buyer, because he wanted to make sure that the contract was going to be good for him to sign and move forward to actually closing on the property. So once he, you know, done that, and he made sure that everything was good with the contract that I sent over, he signed it and met up with me to give me the $2,500 non-refundable earnest deposit. You want to make sure that your buyer has some type of skin in the game, and they're serious on closing on the property. So I usually just say $2,500 non-refundable earnest. You know, that's not too big, it's not too small. It's, you know, it's right. You know, in a nice spot to where that, you know, if he pulls out, then he's gonna be pulling out and leaving $2,500. You know, which wasn't a problem, because this guy, he really wanted the property. You know, and you know, he just wanted to make sure that he was in good hands. So once he dropped off the $2,500 non-refundable, the next step was trying to move forward towards closing, which you need the seller for. The seller is in Dallas. This was a Wednesday. Thursday came. She was like, hey, you want to close? I was like, yes, I really want to close. She was like, well, I can send the closing documents to him, but they have to be the original documents sent back for us to close. So I was like, well, let me call him and see if he can meet me. So I called the seller, which was in Dallas. I'm 4 hours away in Houston. He said he'll meet me somewhere. I said, cool. Drove out 3 hours, you know, met up with the seller, got the documents signed, drove back, and had the documents ready for Friday morning. Thursday, the buyer already had dropped off the remaining balance of the contract money, and the property was already bought. Who they was waiting on? Me, Loopy. They was waiting on FedEx. Yes, I am FedEx. I went and got that document signed, all the pages signed, and I got them back ASAP, because I didn't want to wait over the weekend and then have to wait till Monday to close. I wanted to close Friday. So what I had to do, I had to get on the road and not be lazy and go get those documents signed. So that's how I landed my $14,500 in 9 days. It was a good 9 days. wasn't too complicated, and every deal doesn't happen like that. I didn't had a few deals that did not go down like that, so I don't want y'all to think like, hey man, if he can do it like that, then it gotta happen like that. Nah, it don't happen like that. It's ups and downs in the real estate business, and that was not my first deal. That was not my first deal. That was my first closing. So my first deals end up actually closing a couple days later. So that's gonna be for another video. But I definitely wanted y'all to know how I landed my first closing with $14,500 in 9 days. So yeah, y'all stay tuned, because there's more content coming, and I'm gonna be providing great value to y'all, and I want y'all to stay on point with what I got going on. I want y'all to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is gonna be one of many that's coming. Loopy is in the building. Big shout out to everybody that been supporting me, and yeah, much love. Let's get it.